Alright, so I made the mistake of posting a video without talking about 2.1 that was downloading in my queue this morning as I was uploading, and yeah, I kind of gave it an overlook. I don't know why I did, because clearly we're looking at the next iteration of aircraft. Now, of course, they're all premiums, so I'm sure that the first thought is this is another wargaming money grab, and I understand that, but I do like the features they've added here because one of the things that I think we always had an issue with was when you looked at the French line, and for those of you who aren't aware, the French line is no longer the French line, it's now the Europe line, okay? And these are all premium aircraft. They've introduced 4 new ones, but here's something that's going to be a little bit crazy for a lot of people. I'm going to hop down to the hangar. We're going to go ahead and let's grab one of our other European planes here. We've got the NC 1070. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I got a good idea. Let's hop over here. We're going to get our 8010C. And here's where you get a little bit screwy, guys. You can go ahead and go to services. Or is it upgrades? Where are you at? There it is, upgrades. There's a couple of buttons down here. Now you had the advantages down here. Yeah, cool, we got advantages, and this is how you specialize. But you can change your nation on these aircraft. So I can make this so instead of being French, it could be British, Japanese, US, it can be German, it could be whatever you want. And you can start training up your crews in those aircraft. Like, you can see the paint job underneath here. Like, there's the German paint job. That's what it looked like if it was USSR, American. It's got the stars on the wings, or you got the Japanese rising sun. It's not the rising sun, it's the red dot. And then you also got the logo for the 8010C. So yeah, or the Brits. But yeah, man, like it's cool that you can do that. And of course, I got the J21RB because I can't help myself because it's got a ton of rockets. Now, I already changed the nationality over to be American because I really wanted to try out using my American female pilot here, Mary Loveheart, because these rockets are pretty awesome. And now I've given it the ability to use Valkyrie's Wrath and Demolition Expert, which allows it to get a lot of damage off very quickly. We'll talk about this aircraft more in a second, but since I transferred over, I could put in my American crew. And oh, by the way, I can change it back again and make it Swedish again. I can bring it back to the Japanese US and only costs 100,000 credits. So you can just have this bounce around all night if you decide that you want to try something new. So it's a cool concept, and I do really enjoy that feature. So for those of you who can get past the money grab aspect, do appreciate that you now have a set of premium aircraft, which are arguably the most versatile premium aircraft in the game instead of being the most useless. So for the people out there that gifted me all of these French premium aircraft, thank you so much, because now that means I have some of the most versatile trainers in the game. And that's really what 2.1 brings with it. Except for one complaint I got, and that's that they mention in the patch notes that the P-82 Bravo, the American Twin Mustang, is available. It carries 14 50 cal machine guns. I think it was 10 5-inch rockets and 2 500-pound bombs with a 13.1 second turn time. Guys, it may look like a heavy and it may be classed as a heavy, but based on the reload time of the armament, which I think is 120 seconds, you're looking at an aircraft that is a multi-role. It is a large multi-role, and I want that plane, but they haven't talked about how I get it. It isn't represented anywhere on the heat tree. I know it's supposed to be an aircraft, like an incentive for mentoring or bringing in a new player, but I don't have it. So I'm super disappointed, and if I could figure out how to do it, if somebody knows and I'm just completely oblivious, please put it in the comments, because I need to get that Mustang, that P-82 Bravo twin Mustang. I must have. However, I need to do that. But let's go ahead and take this aircraft out, because I know it's staring y'all in the face and a bunch of you guys want to see how it fares. It carries 10 rockets, and it has 4 50 cals and a single 20 mounted in the nose. It seems like you would have this kind of weird gun mix again, but I'll be honest with you guys, it actually performs really well. Those guns are surprisingly effective, and the rockets reload in 60 seconds at base. This thing full-on multi-roll, so I gave it a mixed build. It has the turbine on here. What do we got? Oh, we're going, yeah, we're definitely going to go there. It has the turbine on here in order to give us more effective boost, and it also has the lightweight wing frame. It has the increased reload with the whatever that pylon is that increases reload but decreases airspeed a bit. And then we also have the G-suit. Why'd I put the G-suit on? Because if I'm flying this multi-roll the way that I think I'm going to be flying it using Marion here, in order to get Valkyrie to trigger, I need to be diving at fairly high velocities towards the ground at an angle steeper than 45 degrees, and doing that means that I am going to be putting myself in a dangerous situation in order to make this happen. So there, just triggered, short range on these. Boom, nailed it. Okay, let's go. Since I have that maneuverability at high speeds, it allows me to be able to zip around, and we're already 45 seconds till we get the next reload. Not too shabby for a little jet plane here. Well, I say little, it's obviously bigger. And it carries 12 seconds of boost with it, and a jet at tier 8 I think we can all acknowledge is a really strong piece of machinery. So let's see what we can do down here. The turn time is really quick too, so we'll go over that again when we get to the hangar. But it allows it to be able to remain very competitive. We're 15 seconds from getting all that back again. Jeez, again. We got a player. Don't overturn, don't overcommit, let him just blitz past you. Is he on me? No, he's not. This guy is. Hey, friendo. Yeah, I can outturn a Tempest, by the way. I can guarantee you that much. As long as nothing else gets in my chili. Losing my wing, though, that's not going to help me out. Oh no. Is he vectoring in on me? He better not be. Got him. Alright. Proc. It's not showing, but I'm willing to bet that it procced. Let's unload.
The enemy is launching rockets at us from the military base. Take action.
Didn't light it on fire. This thing has really good acceleration, better than my F2G. Come on now. Show me a bit of love. Where are you at? Don't be confused, those are just the 20s getting in range. We want to get those 50s in range. Oh, we're so low. It's alright, we'll come back. Not a good decision to try and go after those guys. I should have waited on the rockets too, but new plane, getting anxious. And these rockets actually have a really good blast radius too, 131 feet. That's pretty stellar. And 1600 damage. And we're already just about reloaded, so. I did not roll what I wanted on the boost, so we're gonna have to work towards that. Let's do a little bit of defense over here. What are you? 265? Eh. Not what I was hoping for. Get out of here, man. I don't want none. You know what? Forget you guys. Who else wants some? See ya. Whoa! So like I said, these aren't your typical 50 gals. These are slightly different. You gonna die yet? Said disappear. But you also get this 20! Damn, Connor, every time. But you get that 20 and it gives you a little bit more oomph on the guns. So even though it's 360 damage per second, functionally it does pretty good, especially with the speed and maneuverability we get to play with. We're about to get air supremacy anyways, so whatever. Man, look at those rockets though, isn't that neat? They're pretty short range for how big they are, but they're about on par, I think, with a lot of the 5-inch rockets. I just figured they'd be longer range. I think it's 3,000. Doesn't show it, but I can tell you that it's like 3,700, 3,600. Look at these speeds we're getting up to. Like at this tier, that's good. That's good stuff, man. I want to kill this yak just because he's been bugging me by existing. But he knows. Just too many aircraft for him to contend with. Is he gone? Oh, nasty. Yeah, so not my best match, but let's go ahead and get to the hangar and take another look at this aircraft, but with, you know, better stats look. I like this that I can go ahead and throw my American crew in here. That makes it pretty nasty, and you'll see like the type of damage numbers you can get off of this thing, and we'll talk about the Valkyrie skill too, because I briefly went over it, but those in the know understand what I'm talking about, that this thing has some devastating firepower, especially with a 60-second reload. The Americans don't get a lot of short reload time multi-rolls, but I do really enjoy multi-rolls. So yeah, we're down to 57 with the setup we have right now. And yeah, sorry, the range is 3,800, and if I were to compare that with another American, you can see here that the 5-inch rockets are about 3,806. So yeah, they're right on par. So, but they have more oomph to each one of them. So if we were to go to upgrades, these are 14.5 centimeters. They do 1,600 damage each. And if you were to compare them with these, you'll see that these are 1,500. But then look at that blast radius. Oh yeah, big blast radius. And this, we're looking at on the F2G, this is a 120-second reload on all these munitions. So even though this looks like it's got a pretty beefy loadout here with doing what, a little over 22, it's probably 23,100 damage, public math. And then this thing's 17.6, but it's going to be reloading twice as fast, so you're actually getting even more damage out of this thing, so not too bad, right? And you can strip them off if you're so inclined. You're like, oh, I feel like I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to run it clean. You can, but I like having them on here. Sorry. Like I said, I am running. I'm really loving this boost for the high-speed gas turbine. That allows you to be able to get you up to those good speeds, and it helps us be able to get that skill procced. Uh, there we go. And we also have on here the lightweight wing frame, which allows us to be able to get a little bit more maneuverability out of this thing. And then when you look at it combined with the G suit, this increases your maneuverability by 6% at high speeds. So what that means is it's a lot more forgiving when you're moving at really high velocities. This might be pretty advantageous for some of your faster aircraft, maybe some heavies. I haven't thought about trying it, but maybe it allows you to be able to get that more finite movement. If you've ever flown a 262 at Tier 8, you kind of feel like you can get up to really good speeds, but you lose that ability to get the gun to track properly as you're coming across targets. Like, it gets sluggish because you've exceeded the max optimal. In fact, if we were to pull this off, what does that do? It doesn't even show you, right? Look at the maneuverability numbers. 59. Throw the G suit on here. Still 59. And it tells you that you get increased maneuverability at high speed, but what does that actually produce, right? So it's a little bit deceiving. I don't know. And what other attributes come with it? You have the ability to get more maneuverability in turns at base, along with a second opportunity to roll maneuverability in turns. And then when you get to ultimate, maneuverability at high speeds can be increased, or maximum flight altitude. Now, there's a couple of maximum flight altitudes for 10%. It doesn't seem like much, but on a multi-roll, I think that this would be a really viable option. This is going to be a tough call, man. I'm going to have to do some more testing, but there's definitely some options here. So I am really looking forward to messing around with this new patch and some of the other options that are available. But so far, this plane has been a joy. I've been flying it pretty much all afternoon as soon as I got home, and it is a solid multi-roll. This is quickly going to become, I think, my favorite multi-roll at Tier 8. Sorry, Seafang. I think you're a solid platform, but this thing's nasty. With a 10.9 second turn time at Tier 8 and being something that can accelerate up to speeds that are in excess of 479 miles an hour. Like, we get the same dive speed as the F2H, but we get there so quick. And I've mentioned it before, like, I think your acceleration, a good indicator, is going to be your climb rate. And you can kind of see the max altitude here, but the F2G's climb rate is 439. The climb rate on this thing is going to be 476. So do we have another indicator here? The P80 is 560 or 526, and the XF-15C is 484. Is that accurate? 485. So 485, and with this being 476, yeah, so you're getting a comparable kind of climb rate. So if you have the XF-15C or you see me fly it recently, you can tell it has a good climb rate. So this is going to parallel that pretty well. So yeah. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed what's turned out to be a much longer video than I anticipated, and a lot of looking at me spinning around the J21RB. But well, it looks a little bit odd. Looks like it's got a big butt. It flies really well, and those rockets, as silly as the mounting system looks, they're powerful. And even though it carries 50s, I found that they're surprisingly easy to use, and that the damage rate isn't affecting me that negatively. I've been able to get people in single passes as long as you can just focus down, and you can actually see two of the 50 cals are right on the edge where the light is coming off the pylon. That's what that little hole is, I think, is that other 50 cal. Yeah. Yep, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.